All right, big video today. We're going to be working on 57 Chevy chassis. So we've cleaned up a little bit here. I got a ginormous Speedway order. Damn it. Last week, and I actually did a decent job of kind of starting to put stuff apart, or take stuff apart, kind of unbox everything, and put stuff away. Sorry. So we have a bunch of miscellaneous items. Got an intake manifold over there. We got a carburetor. I got some wheels. I got differentials, brakes, all sorts of stuff. But what we're going to focus on today is this chassis. So that 57 over there is pretty well ready to have the frame, the chassis swapped-ish. I mean, it's all just kind of tacked together.
But I thought we were keeping the rotten frame.
Well, that's only for Facebook people. Oh. These are YouTube people.
Oh, I see.
So this thing is pretty much dialed. We've done the rust repair in the car, so it's somewhat sturdy as far as I'm concerned, ready for a body swap. I actually didn't film anything, now that I'm thinking about it, because you had your friends over. So maybe we'll do a quick little update of this. Originally that door fit, this one didn't. And then when I got the rockers all fitting, now this one fits and that one doesn't. Funny how that works, eh? But the floor I have got welded to the rockers. I've got the front welded, all side is done. Underneath is taken care of, like everything is, you can kind of see where it's plug welded all together. So that's all that. It's actually sitting and bolted down. So it has, see how that door fits now? There's bushings. Well, that's an old one, but that's a new one right here. So it's got all the bushings with bolts sitting on it. So the body is sitting square. Everything was bolted down, then I welded it. So it's at least in a good enough place now where we can kind of move it around. So we just got to unbolt it and it's ready to be swapped. But before we put this frame, or on this frame, I want to put this thing all together. So I actually bought two 9-inch rear ends because I'm a sucker. This one is slightly narrowed. That's gonna be going in here. Right here is a 4-link kit. So we're gonna 4-link bolt-in 4-link kit. This is the exact same setup that Newburn has on his 57. So
it's from Speedway?
It is all Speedway. Everything. My life is Speedway. And sponsored by Visa. So this is what Newburn has in his. So he has a 4-link with a 9-inch, and he's got that blown big block with a T56, and he beats the crap out of it. So it's got to be decent stuff. Up front, this is again more Speedway things. Some of this stuff I actually had purchased previously, but we have tubular control arms. I was thinking to myself I needed spindles, but I forgot when I bought this whole kit, I bought drop spindles. These are aftermarket drop spindles, left and right. And then in this is, I believe, all the brake hardware. I don't even know what this is. There's a bunch of miscellaneous boxes. Hopefully our address isn't on all these. But I got all this actually through eBay, because at the time, before I realized you could call Speedway and finagle the shipping, eBay had better shipping. So that's what I got there. And then that box is rock auto. That's just front springs. So basically for the next kind of video or two, we're going to make this thing into a rolling chassis. It's going to have all new everything. So we'll put the tubular control arms and all that together with the springs in it, bolt that on. I'm probably going to put the wheels on it, the brakes on it. The problem I'm going to run into is, I think I want to put the rack and pinion steering in here. Well, it's another $1,000, right? But that requires either different steering arms, or I need the arms off of that car. So either way, it's a bit of a hassle. So it won't have any steering on it. So I might just put the brakes on temporary so it can kind of roll, and I'll have to ratchet strap it or whatever. And then the back, this kit is actually, it's a bolt-in kit. So it literally has big self-tappers. I think it only kind of goes in one way. We'll, of course, probably weld it, because I love welding everything after we bolt it. And then the rear end will fit in. Oh, I've become a collector of 9-inch center sections. Now, we're fixing to play differential musical chairs. Don't yawn at this, Danielle. This is very important stuff. So now, I've been spending money for 9 inches, and I know it's an expense, but for us, I believe it makes a difference. We can switch things around and do whatever we want. Now, I have in here is a 325 rear gear, which I'm actually going to put in the Blue Nomad outside, which has 410 gears in it. 410 gears coming out, going in the red box. Now, the other two things we have here is I have a 456, and these are actually what are these? 513s spool, 514 spool. Now, here's how my brain's working, Danielle. There's going to be a test at the end. Actually, the comment section, we can put a little test to it. 514s are going to go in my blue 2-door conversion with that blower small block. And either I'm going to put an overdrive transmission in it, or I bought a gear vendor off of Facebook Marketplace. Overdrive. Ridiculous. 456 in here, because this is also going to have my Turbo 400 that was in the gray car, and probably the big block as well, so it'll have overdrive as well, and be a blast. And then the 325 gear will go in the Blue Nomad. We're going to take the supercharger off the Blue Nomad and put it on something else and make that more of a cruiser. That's the plan today. You can judge me in the comments section, because I've changed my mind 15 times. Actually, we're going to do a video explaining my disastrous ways of thinking, but you know what? Sometimes you got to build a car 2-3 times before you get it exactly right. So, unfortunately, the jack stands are predisposed over here on the secret car. So, I might have another set of jack stands. We'll put the front up. I like to get the front end together maybe today. Maybe bolt the rear end together. I don't know. We'll do it over a couple of videos. And then maybe this weekend, which is in 2 days, we can have a fight while we swap the body on that thing. Ka-chow. Okay, so step one of this operation, we have to get the upper control arm studs in, which this one was missing a couple. And what they are is they're 7/16 fine, but they have a little knurling, which we don't have that option, but we do have grade 8 fine thread, which will replace it. Now, what I'm going to do is, because when you put this in, it's going to spin, which when you're doing an alignment, you're going to have your control arm and all this in here. You don't want to have to get a wrench in there. It's a hassle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and take my little belt sander dealie and get in here a little bit. Let's give ourselves a nice little clean workspace, and then we're just going to tack weld this all together. So we'll basically put that in, put a stack of washers on there. Don't worry, we're getting there, Danielle. We're getting there. Give her a little blitz so it's tight.
That's a lot of washers.
These are just temporary, madame. So now what we're going to do, I guess I could have been a little more prepared, eh? Oh, you're not showing this, are you? Oh, no. Dang. I hate when that happens. Well, the wire ain't cheap. Okay. Crank this up to 11. Does this have... If I scraped it up enough, I can ground it somewhere nice. We'll fix that in post. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and give this a... Well, that was not on. I didn't turn the gas on either. You can edit this so I look good, right? Hot rods. Okay. Now this doesn't have to be like solid welded like crazy the whole way around. It's not holding any force. All it's doing is basically just acting so you can then loosen it. Because when you're loosening it, this is what will be happening is you'll literally be trying to put shims in and out of here to adjust everything. So we'll do that 4 more times. Oh, that's hot. If only we had some DD Speed Shop gloves.
I gave them to you. They're on the ground.
Thanks, Danielle. So I'll do all that. We'll come back and then we'll start to assemble that deal. I like to do it a bit of a weird way. It's the old time garage Rick way of doing it. And I'll kind of show you a little trick. Instead of having it put together, I put it all together and then we force it in with some threaded rod. So yeah, I'll finish this really quick. As if by magic, it's all together, Danielle. The crowd goes wild. Okay, so this is all the...
Crowd goes mild.
Oh no, I've already scratched it. My favorite part is when people are like, you buy all those parts, how would Speedway feel about this? Well, probably not great. Okay, so...
Oh, like about you scratching it?
Yeah. Or hammering it or whatever I do. I might have welded that one on crooked. Okay, so that's on. And then we'll just put these on just for show.
These nuts.
Those nuts. Okay. So that's on. Good one, Danielle. Now, this right here, Danielle, is called a drop spindle. Now, with a drop spindle, typically a spindle is either centered or like on the lower part of the spindle. So all they do is they raise the spindle up higher.
To drop it.
To drop it. They actually raise it.
To drop it.
So what happens is the suspension's all going to stay the exact same, but the wheel, this is where the hub and all is going to be, goes up higher. So you've dropped the suspension. So now what we're going to do, just try and jostle this back together. Is this already? What's going on here?
Castle nut.
Castle nut, I might need a wrench. Dang. I need a 3/4.
I don't know what that is.
19 millimeter?
Yes.
Oh,
now that you've told me it was a 19 millimeter, I know exactly what it is.
Maybe I'll just keep trying to. No, okay. I better grab a multitude of tools that we'll need. Oh, they're just full of junk.
We've had them for like 2 years.
Well, it's almost like, yes, they've been stored outside. I wonder, is there a rag or anything, paper towel maybe, some brake clean? No? Yeah, there's just junk in here. I got brake clean on the shelf. Nope, that's glue. That will do the exact opposite of what I want for cleaning. Solid effort. You shut up.
I thought you were grabbing.
Oh, there's some right there. Is that one full? I thought you were grabbing it.
This full.
Oh man. Man, you know what the problem is with having this must be nice shop? I'm putting on the miles here. I'm wearing through boots. I've gotten that Brunt sponsorship like everybody else.
They don't want us.
No, I know. Paying for my own boots like a sucker. Just clean this up a little bit.
Somebody get in touch with Ariat.
Yes. I do like them. Oh, and maybe some knee pads. Okay. What am I doing?
Even better. Somebody get in touch with the Lamleys.
Langley's. Yes. So this should go on nicely, right? Have I screwed this up somehow, Danielle? Oh. Is the boot just in the way? Why is this not going easy? Left hand is this side, right? This boot came up. I might just have to mess with this for a quick second.
For a quick second?
Yes. Oh. Can you hold that? Down lower. Thank you. Yeah, this is right. They're right? It's like there's a little burr or something in the control arm. There's exactly what there is. There's a little bit of schmutz in there. Okay. Just gonna fix this with the drill real quick and then be back to our regular scheduled programming. It's all together. There's a few things I want to do, so it's obviously, we're gonna put this together in a bit of a weird way. So this will just kind of basically go like that. And what I'm actually gonna do, we're gonna jam the spring in there and we're gonna put a big piece of all thread rod through the bottom where the shock would be, and we're gonna collapse it. And that's how we're gonna put together. And a lot of times, and this is, you can do it a bunch of different ways. People will break a ball joint, put a floor jack under and do all those things. You need weight for that. We don't have any weight on this thing. There's no motor, there's no body, there's no nothing. So the spring is just gonna, if we try and put the spring in and then collapse the spring with the lower control arm, it ain't gonna be happy. Now the next thing, as I recall, so these are eBay. They have a lot of meat on them, which is good. I have these exact same drop spindles on the Blue 55 Nomad, and they're mint. But as I'm recalling now, the problem we run into is the steering angle. We have to take a little bit of meat out of the knuckle itself, because otherwise that's all we have for steering. You can see the ball joint hits there, so I had to nip just a little bit out with the grinder. So did you fall there? Unfortunately, I tightened this. I'm hoping it'll just fall apart again. But I'm gonna go ahead. Where did I put my wrench? Take this apart. I'm just gonna grind that right quick before it's on the car, or all together on the car. And then it should fall together. We'll finish this side maybe on camera, and then we can do the other side on my own while you cook dinner. Okay, let's get this apart and I'll grind it all down. So this is the fun part, which may take us a little bit of effort. So I ground down the bottom a little bit. These things are like twice the size of a stock one, so I don't feel bad grinding them a little bit. This is a stock Tri-5 spring. I don't remember what I got, probably just generic whatever. I don't think there's a whole lot of options. These are like a constant rate spring, so if you want, you could cut a little bit off and lower it that way as well. I don't think I'll be doing that, but we'll see. We got to get it all together, get it in, get the motor, whatever we're going to put in this thing in the car, and go from there. So there is a little, these control arms might, or the, control arms, they might drop it as well. I'm not really too sure. I know those Nova ones did. So there's a little pigtail top and bottom where it has to kind of fit, and this is where it's a absolute disaster to get these in. But we'll go ahead and try and line them up the best we can, if I can. Feel around there, because I kind of got to fit in this pocket. Does that one fit there? Actually, you know, a floor jack might be handy. Is this gonna... Oh, are these just flat? Hang on here. Oh no, there is an edge there. Is this... Maybe I should double check that. I don't know if there's a... Oh, those are in there. Will that work if I have it like that? It will not. Hang on, I'm gonna take a minute here and reset. So, I've been struggling just a little bit here. Just a scotch of anger to get it started, but basically I've made a spring compressor out of some all-thread rod and a bar. I have the floor jack under there just for hopes and dreams. We're just going to compress this all together. The little neoprene dealio, this is not working out. It's just kind of folded over. I'd like to get it all properly lined up. Not that it, I guess, really matters to me if I take some more out of this. So we're just going to compress the spring and then we'll put some bolts through to the frame. So this is, remember when I was first doing this on my 55, it was like a friggin' nightmare and I couldn't figure out how this was going to work. And then I Googled it, and that's my first video I saw of Old Time Garage Rick. 'Cause he was doing it this way, and he's a smarter man than I. Except I can't figure, well, I guess I can't figure this out because he's a smarter man than me. So I'm just going to screw out this a little bit more if I can get this little pigtail curl around, and then we can put it together and we're good. It's a little bit of a precarious situation. I hate springs, especially in this case because you have the floor jack under it, but if the weight was on the car, like, or if the car and the motor and all that, the floor jack would hold it from exploding. At this point, it'll still just, it'll go everywhere. But, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. I need a light. I might just live with this.
You want that little scraper tool I had?
No. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot I can do here. The spring is just folded over on this thing. And as I kind of tighten it, it actually is pulling it up more and more to it. So really I gotta loosen it. Let's see if I can mess with it. So I'll just carry on with that for a moment here. Okay, I've got everything lined up. Now, this is another thing that Rick did with another piece of all-thread rod, or even just a big bolt. But you run this through, and this kind of lines up. And I'm going to put another nut on the bottom. So now, it can't explode, you know what I mean? And it'll kind of line it all up. So I managed to get everything I wanted. We'll put the floor jack under it just so we feel somewhat safe. And now, I'm just going to crank this, and you want to make sure that the rod isn't going to spin and unthread the nut on the bottom. I actually should put a jam nut on there, but I didn't. Oh, now it's starting to screw around and be a pain in my butt. Of course, that is tightening it, right? Every time we turn the camera on, there's another kerfuffle. This is... There we go. Now this kit, it did come with hardware, but I went and bought all brand new grade 8 stuff. I don't know if it really needs it or not. In the past I stripped one time with the hardware that came in the kit, and that could have just been a me thing, but you know what? For the 12 bucks for some grade 8 hardware, I think I felt better about it. So then let's use the floor jack. Hopefully it will kind of, oh, this floor jack is garbage too. Yeah, so there's no weight on it yet. What a hassle. Do this with 6 fat buddies that can sit on the frame. Oh, and now this is popped out. Oh, so we're doing it one turn at a time. Nice. Okay, well, just buy a car, done. Okay, we're making progress. Where's the wrench? Will this fit in here now? Nada. So I have 2 bolts in the back. Just gonna, and I have 1 nut on it so it can't explode. Shouldn't explode, I should say. I probably actually should Loctite these, but I'm thinking lock washers are basically the same as Loctite, right? I can come back after and do 1 nut at a time if I want. Oh, if I can get this together. You know what, I'm just gonna put the nuts on for now because it's a pain in my butt. Well, actually, maybe I can tighten. I wonder if I should get the fronts in. I'll just continue to talk to myself like an absolute psychopath. So now we have the backs in, so this can't really do nothing. How can I get this apart? Floor jack is out of floor jacking. Just readjusted the floor jack to kind of put a little bit of force in the front to kind of hold it into place. We got to take just a little bit more there. So now this actually lines up not too bad. So I'm going to use the screwdriver, pull that one over, so that's in. Washer and a nut. That's on. One more. Oof, this one's tight. Just need a little schwagsky. Oh, lost the washer. Don't worry, I got extra because I knew I was going to lose them. Oh, found it. Not bad, not bad. Oh. Can you give it another crank? Okay. This just has to kind of fit into place. But at least at this point, it can't explode. And that's all that really matters. Okay, that one's on. Put a washer on this way. I'll tighten these up. And the front suspension is together on this one side. I'll probably do the other side on my own so I can really let the, the language fly. Because I handled this one so well. It's always like this. These Tri-5s, they're a hassle. I'm just going to snug these up because I'll for sure go back and remember to Loctite them. Or the odds of all 4 coming off are slim. So worst case, 1 comes off and I'll be like, oh, that's funny. And I'll be like, you know what I should probably do is go back and fix all of them. The DD Speed Shop way. Now these here, yeah, there's not not going to do much, but get those snugged up. And then at this point now, don't hate it when it's too loose for a wrench, but too tight for your fingers. It's so frustrating. So now this should actually loosen pretty quickly. So it's all held together. Probably could use a shorter rod. There you go. This will now come apart. So I'll just loosen this and we'll start on the other side. Good times. You know, it's one of those things, you think you just buy all the brand new stuff. Life should just be easy, but it's not always the case. Actually, I should take them off the bottom now that I'm thinking about it. If I can.
But you persevered.
Didn't even lose my mind a little bit.
You're pretty good.
Pretty good, she says, yeah. That's just frustrating is all it is. There we go. So that's all the tool is. It's just a piece of angle iron that you end up putting the rod through and a nut on, and I would recommend a double nut, just a jam nut, that way it can't ever come off. Because you can actually see there, it's got a little bit of gulling of the threads. So you'll do this and this will be bent and used, but there you have it. So now we have some steering. We may need, I don't know how much we might need a little bit more grinding there, but a little Dremel in there, maybe, maybe not. I don't know how much this, that feels like it should turn more that way for sure. That's not very much, which isn't great. So now either we have to break the ball joint apart again, which is kind of lame, or I can get in there with the Dremel. Huh. You know what? Where I ground down was good, but now that it's all tight, it actually brought it up a little bit. So I gotta get in there somehow. That little, this thing here might be the plan. Just, so I'll mess with that. I'll learn from my mistakes and I'll get the other side figured out good. And the worst case, we'll come back and get that down the road. But you know what? I don't feel like this thing's going on the road tomorrow needing to be steered. So I think I'll have a lot of time to calm down and come back to it.
And maybe have some dinner.
Yeah, dinner's definitely in my future right now. And all we gotta do is jam a shock in there, and this thing is cherry. And the nice thing actually about these tubular control arms, they're ready to go for sway bar. If you wanna put a sway bar on these things, which do make a pretty big difference. So I'll probably actually put a sway bar on this thing when I put the power rack and pinion steering. Okay, I'm gonna take a break, probably some supper, and then I don't know if I'll get back at tonight or not, but I'll get the other side done. I don't know how much footage Danny has here, but we might just lay out the rear suspension as well and end the video there. Maybe a couple ads. Gloves, hat, gloves, t-shirt.
Now, new merch on the website.
Oh, sweet. Got know what it is yet?
No.
Okay.
At the current time of this video, it hasn't been pressed yet, but by the time the video comes out, it will all be on the website.
Get after it, Danielle. So it's a new day. Last night, I finished putting all the suspension together, and yeah, so it's pretty well ready to put some brakes on. Now, it all started coming back to me when I was doing this. I bought, I believe, the arms are Speedway, the brakes were Speedway, but the drop axles or drop spindles were just junk, whatever Amazon, eBay had. So I'm hoping.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. So I'm hoping that everything's going to work together. Like this, the brake kit will work with those spindles, which I assume they will. So typically, what I've done is this brake kit is actually meant for going onto a stock setup. And a stock setup, the spindle is super dinky, and the two holes right there where the steering arm goes are actually just drilled out, and there's a big nut and bolt where these are threaded. And then on a kit, it would have like a bracket that bolts on. And I assume the bracket's going to basically look something like that. So this is obviously something that someone's made to you know, I assume like some sort of a metric GM or a Chevelle or something like that. So hopefully this will all work together, but at the very least, the spindles are the same size. So what I'm going to do is I just started packing these bearings. We're just going to put these rotors together right quick, which you've seen me do 1,000 times. I wish I would have brought some paper towel over. But we'll knock these together. We'll put them on just with one, with the nut, with the nut, and then we should be able to put Danny's goofy wheel. Oh, this is not working. Oh, I might have. Are we going to go ahead and just smash this in? Perfect. Exactly like I wanted. We'll put these on, and then we can put those goofy, ugly orange wheels. Ugh, who would run those? We'll put that on the front, then we can support the back with jack stands. And next video, we're going to do 4-link. So we should be able to put that in there. Maybe set the rear end in. Well, we will set the rear end, put axles on the center section in it, I hope. And make this thing a roller. And then video after that will be body swap, which for the astute viewer will know that's all going to happen today. So Danny has a full day ahead of her of screwing around. Maybe a coffee break in the middle. Okay, well, I'll get the other one done. We'll put it all together. All right. Last minute change. Those rotors didn't fit whatever this was. These do say 68 to 72 on the package. Chevy. Danielle's yawning. And I'm wondering, I do have a 68 to 72 Chevy. Maybe I ordered for that? I don't know. Anyways, I had these in the shed, which obviously fit. So I don't know. It is what it is. They all look kind of the same. They had a different seal on them. Yeah. These are vented and drilled. I wonder if I got these from a guy local, because Dave used to have stuff like this. And then the real question is, do you put them on this way or the other way, Danielle? People in the comment section will let me know that no matter what I've done, it's wrong. And then we're still paying off these fancy Rams that Daniela had bought us. But these things are pretty cool. Paid full price. Well, I assume I got them myself. That's a birthday present, Christmas present?
Christmas present last year.
So these should really, are they marked to say what's what? I've used them a couple times. We had them on the notepad or something. But they're kind of handy. They're just, they have no air in them. They'll roll around. They actually have little stops on them so it can't
Get away from
carry on, cause any damage. I think they did come with special lug nuts, which somebody has misplaced.
Naturally.
But they're kind of handy. I mean, they're whatever.
Well, why would you just have a whole bunch of spare tires?
Well, I do have a bunch of spare. I do have a bunch of spare tires. And actually, when I was in Winnipeg, I had a. I was going to bring some more, but I was like, you know what? I'll just put these on. So I only have maybe one set of kind of, well, not even junk. These are daisies on the front of this thing. Those are these turbine wheels that people keep telling me are nice. And
also, can you just end the mic for a second? I wanted to buy him a nice Christmas present. This is what I did.
Thanks, darling. So now we can put this thing down on the ground, clean up a little bit.
I just want everyone to stop yelling at me about them.
Oh, you know how you do that? Don't be on the internet. I've learned one thing about the internet is that no matter what you do, you're wrong. 50% of the people don't agree.
I was just trying to do a nice thing for you for Christmas because you worked so hard.
Oh my God. So now.
Anyways, let's throw them in the garbage.
I want to do some burnouts in them.
It specifically says don't do that.
Yeah, 5 miles an hour. So there we have it. That's your all new front end. So that'll be pretty slick. Like I said, I'm going to pull the trigger and rack and pinion on it. It's got no steering links in it. It's obviously got no shocks in it. But I put the caps and bearings in, but we do have to do obviously the rotors or the calipers and whatnot. But if everything has to come apart again, there's no point in doing that just yet. We're just kind of making it into a roller, but this is probably like the nicest chassis I've ever had in my life. Because usually I just, do a bit at a time. So yeah, I'm excited for the rear end stuff. It's a bolt-in kit, but I think I'll probably weld it, and we'll give it a couple little spritz of some paint, but this is really coming along. This is like Lyle quality. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you leave a comment below. Yeah, sorry the kit didn't go together a little easy. This isn't as maybe informational as usual, but this is all stuff I've had now 2 years, because we were gonna buy that pink 55 Chevy and the deal fell through after I had already bought all sorts of miscellaneous parts in Manitoba, and then it sat there. Actually, all the address on there is all Winnipeg stuff, so I shipped it out here. So we got a lot going on, and I've forgotten what is what, but I think this should all work, so that's cool.
This is a hard-fought battle.
This was a pain. Didn't fit the nicest, but this is all brand new, which I'm hoping it has the right ride height with the spring and the drop, spindle, and everything like that. Should look, I'm hoping it'll look very similar to the blue Nomad, because that one's dropped 2.5 in the front, and I have drop leaf springs, I think, in that thing for 2 or 2.5, and I believe the 4-link kit is designed to drop it as well, 2.5. So it'll look good with a set of 295 rear tires in there, my favorite tire.
We love dragging over speed bumps. Love it.
First of all, it's only the exhaust that drags, and this one, Danielle, will have fender well headers because I'm broken in the head, and they never drag. Fender wells don't drag. Another win. You chassis header guys. Yeah, there you go. Okay, see you on the next one. Leave a comment below, and the next episode is an expensive one because all this stuff wasn't cheap.
So buy merch?
Please.